Hey everyone, I'm back with episode 5. I feel so awkward doing this and they're watching me. But anyways, keep this Nala Nandi episode 5. And today we have two special guests. Let's bring them in. Everybody give them a round of applause. Woo, 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 woo. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, guys, so I have two wonderful, beautiful guests. These are my besties. We've been growing up with each other. Well, they've known each other before I met them, but I met them like maybe oh my God. I met them maybe 7th grade, like middle school.
And we're basically 30 now.
And yeah, we push an aunt and uncle status. So we've been besties ever since, locked in. And do you guys want to tell them what school you go to, what HBCU school?
My name is Arrington. I go to the Xavier University of Louisiana, all the way in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm an English major with a minor in mass communication, studying to be a journalist or lawyer.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Torian Nelson. From San Diego, California, as you may know already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also an educational studies major with a minor in sociology. Currently attend Morehouse College as a graduating senior. I know you see the little
show me y'all jackets.
From X You Would Love, Drexel Drive, you know.
Hey, Atlanta, Georgia. Not too much on Atlanta though.
And Hampton University, the real HU. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, not too much on my school, my home by the sea. But anyway,
under the sea. Go ahead.
For today's video, we all have some lovely tea that I made for all of us. And
it's so good.
Shut up. And for today's video, I thought it'd be really cool to have them on my podcast to kind of talk about our journeys at an HBCU. Torian's in Atlanta, Arrington's in Xavier. I obviously moved back home because I graduated almost 2 years ago, but I still went to an HBCU in Virginia. And I just wanted to kind of get their insight of how they were growing up as like being Black in San Diego and what inspired them to go to an HBCU. But before we start, I wanted to do a fun little activity. And I want you guys to tell me. Also, I made this. Shout out to Torian for helping me. And I'll be reading my questions off of this card. But anyways, what are your guys' 3 top HBCU songs? Like when you go to a cookout, whenever, like what is your favorite song?
Preach is my number one. With these, because they're shady, would probably have to be, oh my gosh, what is it called?
Dreams and Nightmares?
No.
Nasty song?
No. That is a good song. What is it? Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Also, Nasty Song would probably be my third because every time it just eats. Not even for the Greeks. It just eats in general.
The what song?
The Nasty
Song.
Hey, girl, I know that you.
All right. I think mine is Dreams and Nightmares. I actually learned that when I was out there. They are always playing that song.
I still don't know the lyrics.
To the point where I'm like, I had to just naturally learn it because I'm seeing TikToks about people like talking about, I was watching YouTube videos before so I could practice. I'm like, I knew nothing of the sort. I just went in there, everybody singing it word for word. Ain't nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah.
But that one, what else is another one? There's that little line dance that Beyonce made the remix to.
Change my answer.
You know, what is it called?
Before I Let Go.
Yeah, before I Let
Go. I'm learning line dances currently. So that was like the first one that I was able to like learn right away. So I enjoyed that. What's the third one? I guess Can We Talk as well. I'm a second.
They play it at every party.
They really do.
That is a banger though.
Yeah.
That is, and I feel like we go out. I wouldn't say all the time. It's currently still Christmas break, kinda. Happy New Year's, by the way. And we went out so many times, and every time we go out, we hit the little 2-step line dance. Tell me why we get to the 3rd club we doing the dance, and Arrington said, "Could we find something different?
Because they
Y'all
do
keep
a little
doing
too much. Like, good Lord. Like, at some point, we need to put it down. Some songs are not meant to dance like that.
But
It goes with everything.
Song,
and that's fine. But we can't be busting out in the dance and everyone's trying to do a little groove in the club and we spreading out trying to do
That
this little
is
two-step.
a groove. What?
Mm-mm.
That is okay.
Ma'am.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, anyways, I think my top 3 nasty song, Round of Applause.
Oh.
They never play that song. They never play that song.
They play that. And then probably Before I Let Go. Or what's that one song, Can't Get Enough? Oh, yeah. When I think about that song's really
I also
good.
would like to mention Slow Wine for the fellow Louisianers out there, specifically New Orleans and Xavier Vegas.
Arrington, do you know how to trip out?
No.
Trip out. Okay, so those are our 3 top HBCU songs. Now I kind of want to dive into like what was high school like for you guys and what and what made you guys want to go to an HBCU.
So before I graduated high school in 2020, I went to the same school for 14 years, which was Francis Parker School, lower, middle, and upper. Shout out Lancers. Love y'all. I love all the people I met. It's just Parker is a predominantly white institution, so there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me there.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people, but I could probably count them on 2 hands, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
So, I faced some microaggressions, a little bit of some words that should not be said to Black people, but ultimately, I really do think my school prepared me for college because Parker is a college prep school, and everything was very fast-paced. I also had a lot of opportunities with Parker, going to China, going to volleyball, all this stuff. And I really appreciate Parker as a love-hate relationship. So when I had to choose my college, I was choosing all HBCUs because Jack and Jill, shout out Jack and Jill.
We were all in Jack and Jill together.
Which I was in for since I was 2, so like 18 years. They talked about HBCUs a lot, so I decided to apply to all HBCUs. And I actually got accepted into Xavier at a college fair. I wasn't expecting to go there. It wasn't my first, second, third, fourth.
Was it the black? Was it the Black College Expo?
No.
It was like a college fair.
It was a college fair there, like in like Lemon. It was somewhere.
And they had HBCUs there.
Yeah, it was like Alabama A&M, Southern, Xavier. No, it was like the smaller HBCUs. So you just said you gave them your transcript, and then you made it. They basically just gave you.
You get accepted on the spot.
Sent you a letter saying that you made it. So I just chose Xavier because it was COVID at the time. Couldn't go to any schools because everything was on lockdown. My mom went to Southern. So she said you may like Xavier because it's in New Orleans. So I went to New Orleans. And was I going to transfer after the first year? Yes. But I mean, it's still here 4 years later and loving it? Yes.
Wait, I have a question. So if you wouldn't have been enrolled into Jack and Jill, with you going to Parker, do you still think you would have chosen HBCU for college?
Maybe just because my mom went to one. I think she probably would have mentioned it. But if she did not go to one, I probably wouldn't have had any idea about it because a lot of the Black people that graduated before me, they really all really went to PWIs.
Even like the one kid that was also like in Jack and Jill from like the North County. I don't want to say any name.
You could say it, I'll blurt it out.
He was in Jack and Jill and he still went to a PWI. So I think it just really depends on like how immersed your parents are in that environment and their culture as well. Because like when you go to like a PWI, like you can really like unfortunately like lose yourself, especially like when you're not the majority and you're the minority of that space.
Yeah.
So
yeah. What about you, Torian? Like what was your high school like, and then like what made you want to choose to go to an HBCU?
I feel like my high school was pretty cool. Like I actually enjoyed my high school. It was project-based learning, so like it was very independent. Which I also feel like kind of prepared us for like college because it's like, okay, we have this length of time to get this project done or this assignment done, and it's all on our time to do it, all on our responsibility. If you don't get it done, you're not passing that class. Right. Nothing more to say than that. So like it really just like helped me like prioritize like what I needed to get done in college once I got there. In regards to like any microaggression, I think a lot of us just like being in San Diego kind of like unfortunately have to like not have to but like experience it at least once in our life. It was like an every now and then thing, but it wasn't like anything like I guess, too crazy for me, where it was like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, I hate this other race or whatever.
Yeah.
But
never that.
it was never that, because I was able to like let the ones that were a great example outshine the ones that weren't. And so with that, it was just like, okay, like I see that you're really cool, educated, and not ignorant. So I'm not gonna make that specific person the reason why I dislike all of you guys. So I just let that be like, or like guide my decisions in regards to like how I react or interact with certain individuals.
Yeah.
And in regards to like why I chose an HBCU, like the rest of us, Jack and Jill, a lot of the Jack and Jill people before us were also going to HBCUs. And then like I was also a part of these like male like mentorship programs that promoted HBCUs very heavily. And like at least for me, like the program that I was in, all the guys were going to Morehouse. And so like seeing that and seeing like them come back and talk about their experience and like how much they loved being at HBCU, how much they loved being at Morehouse, which is an all boys school, but we have literally Spelman right next door to us. Like it's literally like it's if you have these two teacups right here, Morehouse is right here and Spelman is right here. This is how close we are.
Yeah.
And there's also Clark right there too. Like we're a whole community and we do all of our events together. But I know a lot of people like get deterred from Morehouse just by the fact of like it being an all boys school.
Yeah.
But that me going there now really like showed me the brotherhood that I didn't have growing up, because I have all sisters.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't really like, okay, like I don't really have like that like male perspective outside of like my father. And so with that, like it was like, oh, like this is like these are all literally my brothers. Like we build together, we grow together, and like it's literally like a fraternity.
Yeah.
Like a big base fraternity. Like we have fraternities and on campus and everything, like the D9 and everything. But like even with that, like being out of all boys school, it makes you really like, okay, but do I really need to be in a fraternity? Because we're basically already brothers and everything. So.
What do you say about my brother?
But yeah, that was my experience and that was my journey into why I wanted to go to my HBCU.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that we all got that experience. Like everybody's journey, like especially us being Black here in San Diego, it's different.
Yeah.
And I do like to piggyback off what you guys said. I went to a high school and it was pretty diverse. Like I had my little group of like diverse friends, but I also had my Black friend group. But I still feel like, you know, the microaggression stuff like that was still happening. And I feel like Jack and Jill really made me want to go to an HBCU, especially like with Grant, Cambria, like all of them went to an HBCU. And I feel like they inspired us since we were younger. And I'm so blessed that we all got to be at an HBCU because I feel like it's such an experience. Like sometimes I feel like it's almost hard to explain. Yeah, you just have to be.
You won't get it unless you go.
Unless you go.
Unless you go, then you'll get what we're saying. But like, I don't know. It's like so liberating. Like even in my paper that I was telling you guys about, like a common theme that kept coming up was like just liberating. Like it just feels so liberating to be around your people. And it kind of goes into my next question too with us finding out about HBCUs through Jack and Jill. I feel like people have like as soon as I went to Hampton, I was like, yeah, I went to I'm in Jack and Jill. They're like, oh, Jack and Jill. Oh, y'all bougie. Y'all did it. And I'm just like, what?
Well, let me tell you something.
That is not I feel like our experiences. Okay, so for context, there's two San Diego chapters, North Cal, SoCal. We live in SoCal.
You want to explain what Jack and Jill is?
Yeah, so Jill is a mother's organization and
mothers and their children.
Mothers and their children. But to give background, there's 12 mothers in Philadelphia, I believe, and they wanted to create some type of group, like uplifting group for their kids because they're experiencing a lot of like discrimination and stuff like that. And they created Jack and Jill. And when we tell people, people think it's only for like mothers, but it's like a whole family thing. Like we've done stuff with our dads before. They go to the events. It's like a family organization, but it's run by mothers. And you guys want to chime in? Is there?
Yeah, it's basically run by mothers and their children, stepmothers, what's the other term? Like
guardian
mothers. Like,
yeah, whoever.
If you're a mother and you have children,
You're in
Black basically, though. But
Yeah.
like it's a Black organization,
Mhm.
and that's basically it. And you learn stuff. You go on trips. You meet other people from different chapters. You learn more about Black culture. You learn more about HBCUs.
Yeah.
Community service.
Yeah, community service.
I also feel like even in being in Jack and Jill, like at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, just because like it was new people, I didn't know anyone. But looking back, like it taught us so much because we were in the teen chapter, and in the teen chapter there was a president, a vice president, a treasurer, secretary,
chaplain.
So it's teaching you how to like be like
Yeah.
They even gave us financial classes about how to spend
financial
money.
literacy classes.
Yeah.
And like not to like brag or anything like that, but this is like I know a lot of us we all understand that this is like a privilege to like be able to like be a part of like an opportunity like this. And like definitely don't take it for granted. Like I know like because of like being a part of organizations or having access to organizations like this, it has granted me the opportunity to get to places where not a lot of people that look like us have access to.
Yeah.
And so like just speaking off of that, like definitely like for sure grateful about it. But I know that there's a lot of individuals that like have this like conception or like not misconception because like it can be true.
Yeah, for
like some people from some Jack and Jill chapters. And just like I understand, I think a lot of us, or at least us, understand that it is an elitist organization.
Yeah.
And so like I guess just being aware of that and acknowledging the privilege that you gain from certain like opportunities and access to opportunities like that is very important as well.
Yeah.
And also the stigmatisms around Jack and Jill, there's chapters all over the country.
Yeah.
So it's completely different from a California chapter and an East Coast chapter.
Completely
and especially
different.
down here in Southern California, because we all come from different backgrounds down here. Not everybody, we're not on yachts every week. And you know what I'm saying? All that stuff.
Yeah, and that's what people have a misconception, like their ideas, like it's not this bougie group, like it taught us to be who we need to be as Black people. Like even us going y'all, we have so much to talk about this, but like even with us like going to teen conference. So every year there'd be a theme. So it's the West Coast region, Midwest, like all across like America. We were part of the West Coast region, and every year we'd have teen conference, and it'd be at a different college. So UCLA,
Azusa Pacific,
Alaska. Didn't you go to Alaska?
I went to Alaska, San Marcos. And to piggyback off what Torian said too, before I continue, like it's a privilege that we were in Jack and Jill, and I feel like I could speak for all of us. We're so grateful to be a part of Jack and Jill for the experiences that it gave us and the opportunities, and because of it, we learned more about our Blackness, how we want to show up in different areas of our lives, you know, like it contribute to our growth. So I just want to highlight that, like we're all extremely grateful and we don't take it for granted. In no way, shape, or form are we trying to like rub it in or anything. You know, we're just trying to acknowledge like just the impact it's made on us. But anyways, yeah, so every year teen conference would host and there'd be a theme. So like one of the themes was mistaken identity, and we would create like t-shirts and stuff like that. I'm gonna take a picture of my t-shirt and insert it right here. But anyways,
I know where mine. Oh, I know where it is.
But you guys know I actually designed one of the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, period.
Well, there was a green one too. There was
the camouflage one.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. Can you guys help me?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not explaining it.
No, and then like I think it also shows you that Black people aren't a monolith. And for those that don't know what a monolith is, it's just like basically explaining that we don't all have the same personalities. We don't all come from the same backgrounds, but that's okay. As long as we are aware of that and can come to an understanding of where we can meet in the middle at, then we can be very successful. And I feel like a lot of us use the fact that, because you didn't have the same background as me, then we can't really like hang or like really like relate. But like at the end of the day, like
we all Black.
We all Black, and we all experience a little microaggression here and there.
No, you're good, Torian. You're
so
good.
Like I don't know. It's just like just being aware of that and like understanding that. And you also learn that going to HBCU too, because I know for me personally, like I was kind of scared going to my HBCU. Cause I was like, damn, like I came from this PWI high school, like I'm not like every other like Black kid except for like the ones that I had similar relations to or like personalities to from Jack and Jill. And so I'm going into this space where like unknowingly thinking like, oh, like, are these kids gonna think I'm too like quote unquote whitewashed or like what's gonna be the deal? Then I get there, half the kids have the same similar stories or are coming from like same backgrounds.
Yep.
There's a group of Jack and Jill kids. There's a group of just regular normal like kids that just got to where they got the same way that somebody else got there, because it really takes a village to get to where you want to go for real.
And look at us, like we're all a part of each other's village. Like I feel like, like I even said why I started this podcast, just to kind of capture these moments of my growth and people that have contributed to my growth. And Arrington and Torrin have contributed tremendously to my growth. And like I don't know, I feel like we've seen so many parts of ourselves within our journeys, and we're just here to uplift each other, especially within our Blackness. And I feel like it's so important to have your people rocking behind you, being there for you. Like I ride for y'all, y'all ride for me. Like we locked in forever. But
oh,
go ahead.
And one thing I would like to say, a lot of people talk bad about Jack and Jill, but they grew up in spaces where they had Black people there. And a lot of us in Jack and Jill did not grow up in spaces where we had Black people surrounding us. So that's why we joined Jack and Jill for that. Like, these are my Black friends here in California.
We cousins.
There's literally nobody else. So that's why it's really small. And then I go to my HBCU and all these people talking about their high schools and stuff, and like over half of their class was Black. And we all really did not get that whatsoever. So that's why, well, my mom put me in at 2 years old. Nala got put in like
7th grade, middle school.
And then when were you?
I was like 5th grade.
Yeah, so we were all like growing up and stuff in our high schools and stuff. We didn't have people to look up to. We didn't have people to talk to about our issues because there wasn't anybody there. So that's why we got put in, and that's why we joined, and it really changed our world. The better.
It really did. And to piggyback off of that too, I feel like because of Jack and Jill, I'm like, wait, like we're like I always like looked at us as great, amazing people, but being in Jack and Jill, I'm like, oh, you a doctor, you a lawyer. Like us Black people could be very successful.
It's a good representation.
Yeah, it's a great representation. Sorry, and like, shut up, bro. Baby, but like,
take your time now,
so like honestly, like even like before Jack and Jill, I didn't really have Black doctors, and after Jack and Jill, I have a Black pediatrician, I have a Black OB, I have a Black therapist. You know what I mean? And it's like just going back to just feeling so liberated, knowing that your people got your back and they want to see you win. Go ahead. Keep finna cook.
Hey, you know, one of my homies, that's he's like my best friend for real, and like we were having a conversation because like he was explaining to me how like, because he's from Atlanta, Georgia, and he was telling me about like how he just had this like idea of a Jack and Jill kid that he was not messing with. Like he at first hated all Jack and Jill kids because he thought they were privileged and like a part of his like elitist system. And so he was having this conversation with a professor about this. And one thing that she pointed out to him was, just by you being in college right now, you're also a part of that elitist system. Not everybody can make it to college. And so like, yeah, one kid may have grown up like with a little bit more privilege than the other, but as soon as you hit them college grounds, you're just as privileged as the rest of us. And so like, also like for those that are going to college or in college and thinking, oh, this person bougie that, like you're a part of this system that I don't want to be a part of. My guy,
you're in the system.
You're in the system by being an educated Black individual. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there because I remember him mentioning that to me and how he was like, wow, how he felt sick to his stomach because he was like,
you're right.
I'm part of this. I'm in a fraternity. Like I'm definitely now I'm a part of that privileged life. So like just putting that out there to like give you some self-awareness, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And I feel like within our HBCUs, we're also going to learn so much. Like we're going to be, that's my next question. Do you guys kind of have like a culture shock going to an HBCU? Because I'm sure like with the experience you're sharing about your friend, he probably had a shock as well of like, wow, we really all are all the same, you know, here at this HBCU. So do you guys have like a culture shock? Because like for me, when I went to Hampton, I'm like, oh, it's really all black people here. And it wasn't necessarily intimidating, but just a shocker. Because then I would step foot off campus and it's still all black people. And then I'm like, oh, I need to be here after I graduate. You know what I mean? So how was that for you guys?
It was very good. I came in at COVID year. I was a COVID graduate, so we didn't really interact with nobody literally my freshman year because everyone was in their dorm. Because, C-19 was out in the streets. But after that, I loved going to an HBCU because you could talk to any girl and they would give you hair tips about how to do your hair or where to go get your hair done. Everyone basically knew everything because as black people, like we all like the same stuff basically. Like at my school, like we all relate to a lot of stuff. So if someone needed their nails done, someone needed their hair done, or something. There's always a page at campus that does exactly that. And there are black people everywhere, and I really enjoyed it because you can walk outside with a scarf and ain't nobody gonna say nothing because everybody has those days where their hair's not done. Right. So it's like we all know what's going on, so we can really be ourselves there because we don't have to put up a front for anybody.
Yeah.
I think a culture shock for me was, and I had to mention this before, just by the fact of like realizing that there's a lot of us that have had similar backgrounds and similar stories growing up, and have had similar like journeys into where we got now. For me, like I said before, like I was very scared about like, oh, like am I gonna fit in? Like, am I gonna really find my group? And like you get there and you just really like meet all these different individuals, especially like at an all boys school. Like you're bound to speak to somebody in the hallways. You're bound to have that conversation about like just guy talking as a black man in general, and just like acknowledging like, for example, like mental health. Mental health is very prominent and like dominant in like the black male like culture, and like not a lot of people talk about that. I know that wasn't a thing that I really knew about just like being here, like or learned about. And so like going there and like witnessing people like actually acknowledge it and just like express like their emotions and just like not being on like any like toxic masculinity like mindset. Because I'm thinking I'm going to this space like, oh, it's gonna be some toxic guys, like they're gonna have these like mindsets that I'm just not gonna really like agree with. And I get there and I'm like, oh, like you guys are willing to educate yourself. I'm not the only one that loves to like immerse myself in like people's brains and like pick their brains and figure out like how I can be a better person, a better man for like my community and those that come after me. And so like that was one thing. Another thing though, you ain't getting no taco shop in the South.
But we have Mexican food. We have Mexican food in the South, but it's nothing like California.
It's nothing like California.
I don't care what none of y'all say. The Mexican food in the East Coast freaking sucks.
Hey man, it is
anywhere other than maybe California and Texas. Yeah, it sucks.
I don't even like Tex-Mex for real. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really just California.
It's really just California. Maybe just San Diego to top it too.
Thank you. Argue with your mama about that because, bro, we live right next to the border.
Like we see Mexico.
Yeah,
it's right
from the top of my house, you can see Mexico.
Literally.
In the food. Well, okay, I don't know. I really like Teg and Lolitas. Some people don't like Lolitas.
I don't like Lolitas.
You don't know Lolitas?
It's right over there by the freaking skate. What is it called? Sky Zone. It's over there, up there.
Oh, well,
with the carne asada top. But there's still others in San Diego.
Personally, I don't like Lolitas that much. I mainly like taco. What's it called? I like Tacos El Gordo and not the Taco Lounge. It's the Taco Stand. There's one in La Jolla. There's one downtown.
San Diego. Those places that you need to be visiting.
No, for real. We putting y'all on. Also,
there's this place in Point Loma, but it's like a drive-through Mexican place.
Any of the taco shops that
they don't got no taco shops in the South. They don't even call them taco shops.
They're just restaurants.
That's how you know they're just restaurants.
They're just restaurants, and it's like it's good. There's stuff that I can eat stuff there, but it's not gonna ever relate to California.
Ever.
One time I was in Atlanta. I asked these dogs, can I get some corn asada fries? For those that don't know what corn asada fries are.
Here's a picture.
Okay, there's a picture. He said, yes, you can get corn asada fries and... No, you can get corn asada and fries. And I was like, I want it together. And they were just not... It wasn't registering what I was saying. Like, not like language barrier or anything like that. It was just like, oh, we don't make that here. Like that might be just a California thing. Like what?
Like how you ain't got carne asada? That's like the number. That's like the easiest thing.
But I feel like that's such like a West Coast thing, probably.
It kind of is, just like a
Which
California
makes sense.
burrito.
Yeah,
like,
that yeah.
California burritos, I really don't like that much.
I don't.
I just
either.
gotta take the fries out because it's too much going on.
Yeah, just give me a normal
avocados from Mexico.
Honest, and I feel like also like the taco shops, if they're really small, they finna be busting.
Oh man.
What? There's one next to San Diego State. It's
that
so
one
good.
that's across the street.
Yes,
that one next to Epic Wings and things.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I know what you're
bro.
talking
That
about.
one.
I've been there. I just drove by there last night.
It's actually good.
Where were you at?
At the SDSU game.
Oh,
Did you not see my story?
who did you go with?
My dad.
Oh.
See about that as well. I was looking a little fine. Oh, my bad. Next question, Dr. Kyle. I'm whispering.
You whisper over the mic is right here.
My next question is, I feel like I don't know, like I'm on a
Come on,
reality
Dr.
TV show.
Phil.
Okay,
like?
my next question is, what aspects of attending an HBCU do you feel like had the biggest impact on like your personal growth and like your development? Like, I don't know, just like as a person or career-wise. I feel like, oh, go ahead. Arrington, what is you doing? What is you feeling like?
She always playing. I think for me, I think it helped me grow into the man that I wanted to be.
Okay.
For me, how I see manhood is in different ways. Like I know for me growing up, how I would like pick up my like representation of manhood was I would get a trait from each individual that I saw something that I liked, and I would pick it, and put it together in one and create the man that I think that I'm supposed to be for this world.
Yeah.
And so I think Morehouse just has really helped me like find, I guess, my definition of manhood. It's very big on manhood, and it's not like on no like toxic type of like manhood. It's just like being there, but just being a black man in America, and just finding your own representation of manhood. Like it's not for somebody else to determine how a man is supposed to be. It's basically what I've been taught there. Another thing is just like everything I've learned, the amount of Black history I've learned at my HBCU, I've never learned. I remember times when I was in high school, which I forgot to mention about my experience, which I kind of just, I guess I just blocked out of my head. When I would like ask my teachers, oh, like my humanities teacher, like, oh, like since it's Black History Month, like are we gonna be learning some like Black history or something? Like I don't want to just learn about like MLK or something like that. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Nothing. Whole month. The only teacher that did something, and I'm gonna shout her out, Calais.
Shout out you.
Biology teacher, my junior year, had a whole month dedicated to Black biologists that did different things, and I thought that was really cool. And like we had to like come to class and like bring somebody that was like cool, or like she would like come and like share somebody else that she like was inspired by, it did this, that, and the third. It's like that was the only time where I was like, damn, like I guess this ain't that little white savior little complex that's going on. This is actual like what an educator is supposed to be like. And so that was something that I really appreciated. But once I got to college, like I really like, it's required for you to take an Africana Studies class. I don't know if was it for you guys
Not
too?
for us.
Well, for my major, I had to take a Black literature class, which was really nice. Shout out Dr. Jen. Love you, girl.
Yeah, for general ed, like Africana Studies is a required class to take. And so like that was something that I really enjoyed. And like a lot of our lessons are based around African Americans. Like I'm having like my sociology professor that's a Hispanic woman revolving her sociological perspectives and theories around Black sociologists.
Yeah.
And so like I really enjoyed that. Like our last semester, our project was for my social inequality class. We did it based off music, and so we would like find different songs that were based around social inequality, and like she revolved hers around Nina Simone. I did not know Nina Simone was as much of an activist as she was in her music. Like I knew about like people like Billie Holiday or like Marvin Gaye, but like Nina Simone was literally writing things that were having to do with movements that were going around, like in like the civil rights movements, or just like different events that were going around during that period of time. And I'm like, wow, like this Hispanic women know this, like
Right. What
like,
you know about
what
this?
you know about this?
Who was
So
you feeling like?
who was you feeling like?
Right.
But I just really appreciate that. So like something I
Yeah.
like.
What about you, Ari?
I would say, honestly speaking, the friends that I made in my HBCU and my teacher, Dr. Jen, was I took her African literature class twice. Well, she has 2 sections. So I took both of them twice for a year. And, she really she had taught us about embracing our Black curls and how it was for her working in like a white workplace before she came to Xavier, because she actually attended our rival school. But boo,
Southern's
Blue
your
Devils, we don't like you,
What?
Dillard. Anyways, no, Dillard's our rivals because they're right next
All
door.
HBCUs are
They really are.
Anyways, she talking about she the real HU.
Okay, are these even my friends for real? Because what? I thought we was besties.
Oh my
Y'all
God.
already know Hampton is the real HU, and you want to know? Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
go
Cut
ahead.
the cameras.
No,
Go ahead and answer the question.
No, I want to know. No, I want to know.
because it's really not that important.
Okay, let me
Because
finish
guess what?
it.
It's important to me. So go ahead. Here she
But-
go, y'all.
But like, I really like Dr. Jen because she really helped me embrace myself. And she was there for a lot of times at school where I was like really done with it and I did not want to keep going. It was really irritating me. And my friends also that I made have also really impacted my life. Because without y'all, like I really don't know where I'd be. Like shout out, go shout out all the names. So if you know me, you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Love you.
You know who
Love
you
you.
are.
Going to just college in general, I feel like you really just find
Your
like
people.
your people. You're, in high school, you're not finding like there's not.
Shout out my high school friends.
I might talk to like 2 or 3 people from high school, but like outside of these individuals right here, the only reason I feel like we're as close as we are is because we grew up together.
Yeah.
So we're seeing each other like on almost a daily basis.
Uncut raw.
Yeah, all the time.
Sick and all. But in college, you're also experiencing that, and you're getting. Let me just hold the mic.
Why like holding the mic?
I'm a big boy. I can handle
Okay, go
myself.
ahead. Let me-
But in college, you just like they're seeing you get out of bed. They seeing you walk around like looking crazy.
Going through your
Like these are really
breakups.
like your siblings. Like
Yeah.
they're
Go through your
like
crash
y'all
out.
going and experiencing the same food, having bad
Yeah.
off days with food or something.
Going to the cafe.
Going to the
Fried
calf,
chicken Wednesday.
fried chicken
Friday,
Wednesday.
Like,
Man, I
I
haven't
didn't know
been-
about that gumbo.
hey, I haven't been to the calf in a minute though.
Actually, I haven't either.
Ever since I moved off the campus, I do not go to the
I only
calf.
go back for fried chicken Wednesday.
Did you go when you moved off?
No, but sometimes I would sneak in. But
I snuck in. Let me not. Should I
No,
put that out
Xavier
there?
gave everybody
Yeah.
free meals this year because usually if you don't live on campus, you can't access any of the campus stuff.
yeah.
And now everybody has a meal plan at Xavier. So shout out Big XU because now
Wow.
everyone can go to the calf even if you live on campus.
Must be nice because they were not doing that at the illustrious Morehouse College. I don't know why. They was just. I guess they must have been money hungry or something. But
Hungry.
what was I gonna say? Yeah, you just really find your people there. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I found like my best friends
Mhm.
at Morehouse
No.
College. Let's not get emotional now.
Like,
What did I just start?
just really love my friends, y'all. Like,
Here she go. Y'all, whenever we go out as a friend group, Arrington be like this. She be like,
why can't I get sentimental? Like,
no, go ahead. We
Go
love
ahead.
it. We love it.
I've had some really bad times this past semester, and my friends really helped me out of that. Like, I was so depressed, but like, they came around and checked on me. Like, I always had something to do after school, because even if that's just sitting in my apartment watching Sex in the City, shout out Cam and Kyler, or, going to get food, shout out Chris, or, going to get acai bowls, shout out Bree, KK, and Leah, we all
killing me, bro. Like,
I'm sorry. I just love y'all. Like, y'all really my crew. Like, I just love y'all. But, it's my right eye.
no, I really feel that though. To echo what you guys were saying, I feel like we all go through growth. I feel like my last year at Hampton, I grew tremendously.
Period.
Tremendously.
Period.
It's like you go from here all the way up.
down to the start
It
from
went,
the
by
bottom.
it went by so fast.
It,
Yeah,
it
time
goes
is moving
by
fast.
so, guys, time is not promised. And they're graduating this year. I'm also graduating, but like just soak in all of the time you have left with these people. Of course, you could see them for a birthday trip, whatever, but soak in these last times because this time is so valuable. They've helped you guys on your journey. You guys would not be who you are without those people. No matter if you talk to them, if you don't talk to them, they have contributed to your growth in so many ways. And like really soak it in because sometimes I'll be thinking like, damn, like I really miss Hampton. And not necessarily just everything.
Yeah.
Like the energy, like who it helped me become.
Those
and
little humbling moments. I miss those.
These are our college years. Like these are our years right now.
These are our years.
These are our years. Like we really need. If you're watching this and you're about to go to college, you need to take in every second of it.
Take it
because
in.
it will be gone in a flash. Like,
just like
seriously.
that.
We're talking about college, not high school. High school.
In high school.
College.
High school's like
Well, yeah, for high school it depends. If you like, for me, I went to the same school for 14 years, so it was going by a little slow because I see the same people since 4 to 18. They actually went to a high school separate from their middle school, I think.
In
right?
elementary.
In elementary school. But it's like time is moving and you just have to live in the here and now and take in everything, learn every lesson, do everything that you want to do. When you go to college, sign up for extracurricular, join clubs, get out there.
And it's okay to make mistakes.
Perfectly.
We are in our 20s.
And breakdowns are normal. I
personally
haven't had a breakdown yet. I've had moments where got the mic.
How about you grab it?
I've had moments where I've been close, but it's okay. Like I'm not a breakdown type of person, but like if you are, let it out. Like I've been there for a lot of my homies. If you're a guy, it is okay to cry.
Heavy on that.
It is heavily promoted to let those emotions out at the illustrious Morehouse College. So if you're interested in going to Morehouse College,
any college, even if you're a man, it's okay to let those.
Geneva.
It's getting cold outside.
He's like, I'm gonna have to cut phone.
It's okay. Wait, Mom, show them your hat. Show the camera your hat. What does it say? Okay, and is it the real HU?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Damien, and she got a son that goes into Howard.
Shut up. Damien, if you watching this, that's my brother. I don't know if y'all know. He gonna be on my podcast soon. Damien went to Howard. That is not the real HU.
Which one was founded? Which one was?
No,
it's grounded first.
Anyways, I went to Hampton, the one and only home and I don't mean to do it. Mom, that's why I asked you. Damien, her son finna be okay. My brother's finna be okay. Also, I feel like Hampton is the most beautiful campus ever. Torian, our campus is on the beach, bro.
No, it's the most gorgeous campus.
Thank you.
Ain't nobody taking that away from y'all.
Thank you.
Morehouse is nice. Spellhouse is nice too.
Xavier.
Is y'all on the beach though? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop.
She just ain't y'all. No, it's not.
Ain't nobody California like.
It's Virginia. Virginia.
Anyways.
Next question, Dr. Giancarlo.
Okay. So also with talking about like HBCUs and how they shaped us as a person, how do you think it shaped your guys' career? Because I feel like for me, like Torian, you were talking about this earlier, like learning more about mental health in the Black community. One, it's so important to get mental health services and stuff like that. And I feel like, of course, like I always felt like mental health was important. All my family was all for mental health and us, getting therapy, whatever help we needed. But I feel like going to an HBCU, I learned how important it is in the Black community and being around them. And I feel like because of going to an HBCU, it inspired me to want to become a therapist because I was a part of the peer counselors club on campus and just everything we would do surrounding mental health. So I feel like that kind of shaped me in my career-wise of why I want to be a therapist. And also, mental health is so important. And I feel like people, especially Black people in the community, you're taught to pray it off, thug it out. It's like, no, it's okay to talk to a professional.
There are real problems that people have, and you can't brush it under the rug.
We're human. And like, we're only in our 20s, guys. Like, inshallah, we'll live how long we're supposed to, but there's so much, inshallah, there's so much life to live. So like, why not have some guidance in that? Just how I have guidance from y'all, like, it's okay to have that support from a therapist.
It's okay.
But, yeah. But anyways, sorry, that was my spill. But how did going to an HBCU kind of shape your career choice? Yeah. Or like the path you want to be on?
I don't know exactly what I want to do in my life. and I don't have to know what I want to do in my life
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
okay.
But I did minor in mass communication. Well, I do like writing. As many of y'all know, I had a Wattpad account for about 10 years.
Y'all need to get into Arrington's book. Baby had thousands
to read. I unfortunately do not write on Wattpad no more because I'm grown. No offense to people that write on Wattpad though, but it's just, I don't write about like celebrities like that no more because I'm like, you know, I'm not 14 no more. I'm 23. But shout out to the people that do though. But I found out I like writing, and I found out like I like journalism. So going to Xavier really helped me see that I want to be a journalist in my mass communications classes and stuff. And I just really enjoy it. And Xavier does produce all of the most black doctors in America.
Yep.
Even though I don't want to be a doctor, a lot of my friends are on that path.
Shout out Dr. Aquila.
Shout out. And a lot of them are finding their way with being a doctor. So if you do want to be a doctor and you want to go to an HBCU, I would highly suggest Xavier because their program is really good for black doctors.
It is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it really is.
I know for me, like I've always wanted to work with kids or just like young individuals, just from the fact of like how we were talking about like having access to opportunities that not a lot of other individuals have access to.
Yeah.
And so I think that just showed me, okay, like I need to get in this space because I need to make sure that these kids, even though they may not have like a Jack and Jill or like just like a separate organization that can help lead them on the path to success, I want to be that educator that leads them on the path to success. There's not a lot of educators out there that are acknowledging every single individual student. I know a lot of individuals, or at least from my experience, like I've grown up with a lot of individuals that I feel like, if not were better, had just as much potential as I did to be where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And because they didn't have access to the same guidance that I did or the same resources that I did, that they just ended up either going on the wrong path or just not going on the path at all. And so I just really looked at that as like, okay, like I gotta do something with kids.
Yeah.
And as I was like exploring like my like ideas in college, like I was just talking to my advisor and I was explaining it to her, and she guided me to like the education department. Talk with the education department advisor, and she just really like blew me away to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch my major to education.
Yeah.
And then
period, teacher.
Right. And then what I did to like make sure like this is really what I wanted to do was, so every year, and I think this is at all HBCUs or maybe just college in general, but I've only really seen it more prominent at HBCUs where they have a career fair.
Oh yeah.
And
so we have those constantly. The
career fairs is basically where like 100+ companies from all around the world are coming to one space to hire you. They want us in those spaces. Not a lot of people know about that. And so I was at one of the career fairs and I signed up for this internship where I was teaching. And so I was teaching in New Orleans for like the whole entire summertime. Best experience of my entire life. Like I'm sitting there teaching 9th grade English and learning about these kids and different personalities, and also getting ready to like make an impact that you don't always see at first, but then at the end, like you really get to like be like, wow, like I did that.
Yeah.
And so like from that just made me really just inspired me to like want to continue going on education. Hopefully like one day I'll like be a principal of a school or find my own school.
Yes, you will. You will.
Come on, Abbott Elementary.
I'm gonna like do it slowly. Like I already have my plan in my head. I'm gonna teach for a few years, maybe like 5 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Get that principal route, then go back get my doctorate.
Yeah.
And then
come on, Abby.
Build my own school.
Yes.
What's the principal's name? Come on, Ava.
Come on, Ava Coleman.
What about what's the other boy?
Gregory.
Yeah,
Gregory.
Y'all can't tell me
he
Torian
don't look like Gregory. He always takes offense to that, but him and Tyler James.
It's just like
him and Tyler James. Yeah, he did meet. There's a okay. Here's a picture of when they met because they look exact. It's like they're cousins, or they could be brothers.
No,
honestly.
I was thinking Torian could play his little brother in an episode.
You really could, or his past self.
You totally could.
You need to contact ABC right now.
No, I'm so serious.
I'm gonna do it for you.
You know what he said though, Tyler.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you real fast. You know, it was. I know you famous, and I know you balling and everything like that, but it just turned me off a little bit when we were taking that picture, and my classmate was like, "Y'all kind of do look alike," and you was like, "Oh, you one of those?" Okay.
You ain't never told us that.
I didn't tell you guys that.
No, you didn't say that.
He was like, I would take it as a compliment. I was like, all right.
No way.
But like outside of that, like he was cool people.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to meet him.
That is too funny. No, but like I don't know, that warmed my heart hearing you guys talk, because I feel like we have people that are placed into our lives to help us grow. And the fact that we have the opportunity to give that to younger people, like it's such a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Like
give back to the community that gave to you.
Like that's the whole goal. And I feel like us, even in the Black community, we really try to help like uplift people, at least from my experience, like uplift people and really try to focus on us as a system, not individually. And I don't know, like
that's like it can be sometimes.
It can. That's why I said from my experience.
Yeah, and that's from my experience as well. But when you hear other experiences, you learn that like we really are pretty divided. We're not like these other like what is the word, like we're separated more compared to like other cultures or other races. And we really have to work on that. And like I know a lot of us are like aware of that. And we talk about it all the time, like in my classes and stuff, about like how there's a lot of like individualistic like individuals, and that stems from the white man letting the white man and them letting them put this mindset that only one of you can be at the top.
And it's like, no, there's so
like
many
if that's
of us
the case, then
the
let's build our own top.
Exactly.
And figure it out together.
Exactly. And I don't know, like I just feel like it's such a blessing that like we had people, like I even think about my therapist and like how she's contributed to my self-growth journey like throughout these years. And I'm just so grateful for her and how she has shaped me and the woman I want to become. And that's who I want to be for my clients. So I think it's such like a beautiful experience that we all have had like people who have like mentored us, uplift us, and then we could give that back to younger people. You know what I mean?
But that's what they need too.
Yeah, they do.
For real.
Okay. And then, so with us going to HBCUs and you guys are wrapping up on your last year, guys, we're all graduating this May. But what would be advice you would give to your younger self or to somebody that's going to an HBCU? We could do both. First, we'll start off with what's advice you'd give to your younger self?
Well, baby Arrington, you're 18, just graduated Harker. Go out and do stuff. Go out and talk to people. If you want to do something, you need to actually do something and make it happen. Don't sit in your room during COVID, even though you're scared to go out. Go talk to your teachers when you need help, and don't be scared to ask them for help. Go to clubs, go to events, talk to people about stuff you want to do in the future. Choose a major that you're happy in. And don't be scared to be away from home, because you're about to meet some of the best people in the world, and they're going to become your closest friends ever. And, you know, you're going to have a time at Xavier. It's going to be rough. It's going to be long. You're going to want to leave. But you're also going to want to stay because you met a lot of good people.
Oh, I love that.
And now, what was the second one?
What advice would you give for somebody going to an HBCU?
If you are going to an HBCU, be open-minded. Also, do your research before you apply to every HBCU, because every HBCU is different. Torian.
But it is
different. It's different. Yeah, like everything you can. Xavier is not the same as Morehouse. Morehouse is not Hampton. Hampton is not Xavier. Like you have to do your research. Be open-minded. Realize that just because we're all Black doesn't mean we were all raised the same way. So you have to be cautious with certain people and also get to know certain people, because what you think is great, your values are not the same values as somebody else, especially if y'all are roommates. You have to learn how to live with somebody, because living with somebody is very different, especially in that tiny dorm room. My freshman year, I had no roommate because it was COVID. My second year, I had a roommate, shout out Evan, but other people have horror stories of their roommates. Mine was not like that. But you have to learn how to live with somebody, and you have to learn how to stand up for yourself when you live up with somebody. Because a lot of people stay silent on things that are actually you need to say. So,
because you grown.
You
At
grown.
the end of the day, we all grown.
ASL. real.
Like don't be sitting there not speaking up for yourself. You gotta put your big girl pants on and big boy pants.
No, for real, heavy on that.
But what I would say to my younger self is just stay on the same path that you're already on. I think if we wouldn't have experienced, not saying I've experienced anything crazy or anything like that, but like I think all the experience that we've experienced helped guide us to the path that we're at now, and now we're getting ready to graduate college. Yep. And so I would say just stay on that same path. And then to somebody getting ready to go to college, I would also say that just try to immerse yourself in that environment as much as you can. Join organizations. You can really you can do it. Like it's not hard. Don't step out of your comfort zone. Like I know for me, like I was so worried about just keeping good grades to keep my scholarship that I didn't think that I can manage being a part of an organization or joining this club, because I'm like, oh, my main priority should be my grades so I can graduate with honors and keep my academic scholarship. And so like I wasn't really playing about that. But then like over time, like when it was kind of like too late a little bit, it was like, damn, like I really could have done this. Like I really could have done that, this and the third. Like I'm having all this free time. And you really like just going into college in general, like your freshman year, you're gonna think, okay, like gotta lock in. It might take you like a month or like maybe like even like at the least like 2 weeks to figure out the routine where it's like, oh, this is not that bad at all. It's really not that bad. Just gotta stay strong and don't pick a HBCU just because you know it's the best party school. Like pick something that's actually good for your major. Because people keep talking about this NCAT and like just because like they have like, I guess, quote unquote, like a good homecoming. But like, I know individuals that go there and they're not having the best experience. Like, their homecoming is cool and all.
Don't let Cal get you. Like, don't apply to Howard just because it's the first HBCU.
And don't do that either. Like, I know for me, like, I really wanted to go to Howard.
Me too.
I got waitlisted there, and with Morehouse, and they took too long. They took too long. Like I was like for Morehouse, like they were like, oh, like you gotta send in your acceptance fee, or else you're not gonna be able to go there. And Howard was not gonna tell me if I got in or not until afterwards. And so I just had to send in that acceptance fee. It's been the best decision I've ever made since. All HBCUs are great,
but no matter if it's an HBCU, PWI, there's always something
you're gonna experience.
Out of school.
You might think, okay, this is an HBCU. This is why it's so bad. No, every person I've met during my internships, we've all basically been experiencing the same thing when it comes to like either like bad calf food.
It's at every college, guys.
Crazy looking dorm, an older looking dorm. Like all the financial aid office, all my friends from all these other schools that aren't HBCUs are experiencing the same exact thing. The only difference is that we're all black at HBCUs. And there's nothing like in the PWI. We're living our best life.
Them homecomings.
I've heard great. I think I haven't heard a complaint about anybody's homecoming.
Yeah,
nobody. I personally don't think anybody's homecoming is greater than the other. Like everybody's is different.
Actually, I'm not talking out on my school, but I have heard that GHO, that's why it's called GHO, greatest homecoming of all time, is popping at NCAT. So I feel like
the concert artists are just a little different for some schools.
Because we didn't have popping. Like, it was
very grateful that we had concert artists to begin with, but it's like Spelman, they got Drake. Spellhouse got Drake. We got a New Orleans rapper, which was cool and all, but you see the disconnect because like also Xavier is a private Catholic school. So it's not a public school. So we have no money from the government coming in. It's just alumni and the school itself. But shout out Xavier, baby. Love you.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, homecoming I think was probably one of my favorite parts of going to an HBCU.
Literally, I love homecoming.
It's not the homecoming y'all thinking if you've never been or don't know what an HBCU homecoming is, but it is lit like
LITT.
Yeah, mess around and find out because
mess around and find
out. My last homecoming, man, it was a blast. But we're not gonna talk too much about that.
I want to go to Hampton's homecoming.
My last.
Yeah, this is y'all last
homecoming.
So live it up.
We already passed it.
It was lit though.
Oh shoot!
Homecoming was in October.
Y'all are.
It wasn't as lit as last year for me, but it was raining the entire time, so that's probably it rained the whole time.
What's crazy for my homecoming? Every year, it'll be like freezing cold, raining, like a couple days before. As soon as homecoming week hits, the weather is perfect the whole entire week. I don't know how that works, but it's like a blast. Like I love homecoming.
I want to go to Hamptons. Let me just go. Like
it's really fun. To go and they
oh no, that's completely fine. You can go to any homecoming at any age.
Yeah, hopefully one of these days. I don't know when.
You can go at any age. I just personally want to go this year and next year. Probably I'll probably take a break after 2027 or 2026. And then, you know, I'll come back when I'm in my 30s and stuff.
I think some advice I would give to my younger self is you're going to be fine.
Lil Dog.
Like, you're going to grow into a beautiful, beautiful person. And I feel like you just have to trust, like, God's plan for you, the universe, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like we're all destined to become great and different. A lot of stuff happens for a reason. It was meant to happen. And I just feel like you have to trust yourself and just know that you're going to be okay. And just look at yourself and be like, oh my God, like I was able to go through that last year, 2 years ago, last week. Imagine what else you're able to go through. And I feel like we all go through, like, at least for myself, I believe that I go through rebirths, you know, of growth. Like, have you ever gone through something and you're like, whoa, like I just grown? And like, of course, growth is not like stairs, it's not stagnant, but like, let's say you've been working on something for so long and then you do that thing. It's like, oh, like I suck at setting boundaries. You set a boundary, you're like, wait, I feel like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? But anyways, you're going to make it through. Just everything's going to be okay. Just trust yourself.
It's the climb, like my
lean on your village, lean on your loved ones, and it's okay to ask for help. You know, like we're only 23, 21. We've been on this earth for 20-ish years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, guys,
it's not even that long.
That's not long at all. So, like, have grace, be kind to yourself, love yourself, and you're going to be okay. And then advice I would give for somebody wanting to go to college or attending an HBCU, do your research. Because some people end up really not liking the HBCU you go to. And also, just make sure you hang around around the right crowd, and trust your intuition, because your intuition never lies. If you're at a party, you don't feel like you're safe, leave. Who knows what will happen after you leave? You know what I mean?
Also, every time you go to a party, make sure you know where your car is. And if something does pop up, run into the direction of the car. Do not run sporadically around and you're going to run into a fence like some people. Go to the car. You know.
Thank you for that.
You know, I hopped over the fence one year, so, you know, I got to let people know. But seriously, scar's still on my thigh.
I do feel so grateful for you guys, and I love you guys so much. Like, I'm not gonna get emotional, but guys, these are you guys are family. Like, of course, I just be telling everybody we cousins, but you guys are family for real.
I tell people do it all the time.
Tori do it all the time.
I'm complaining about that because every time they ask me, "Hey, that's your girl?" I'm like, "That's my cousin."
No, seriously, Tori, are you and Tori anything? That's my bro.
Yeah,
that's my cousin.
Tori
that's my bro.
When Tori be posting us, he be saying cousin.
He said,
I don't be waiting to get the.
Who was happy birthday?
I don't be waiting to get the ladies upset and thinking that I'm over here playing.
Nah,
acting crazy.
Nah,
that's my relative.
No, but for real though, we really are family. We grew up together, and I just really love you guys. I feel like it was really important for me to have you guys on my podcast. I'm not gonna cry, but
I am.
But I don't know. It was just really important.
You see that?
It was really important for me to have you guys on my podcast. I feel like you guys have contributed so much to my growth and who I'm becoming, whether that's me going through this or that. I call you guys, and you guys always show up. And yeah, I just love you guys so much. And be here.
No, I actually had to call.
You gotta move it. But yeah, I love you guys so much. And and before we end, I want you guys to do a motivational or an inspirational speech, or just a couple words you want to tell the public. So go on and step a little bit close there.
I would just change who you are. Always love yourself and your family. Keep God number one in your life. Never settle for less. And never let anyone tell you that you're less than. Because you're going to work out in this life. You are loved. You have people that are in your corner. So never ever think you don't. And peace and love. Here, love y'all. Big exit.
I guess what I would say is just take it one step at a time. You don't have to rush things. You don't have to expect because this person is doing that you're supposed to be doing just as great as that individual. You're all your own person, and so just do that. Take it one step at a time. Don't rush things. Your time will come. And so guys, be ready for it.
Yeah!
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
Okay, but thank you guys
Bye,
for
y'all.
coming into episode 6. Love you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and
Subscribe.
hit that bell button. Bye.